pride, never mind the soul ties. Realize the way that I'm living is different. Handle my business when enlisted. Apply the game in any lane I'm driven. Never aimless in my intention, knowing no limits to my ambition. May they lie, they may. What can I say? I'll never change. I'm rarely phased. What can they make? What can they take? The only thing that's on their brain, I guarantee I'll never be the butt of the joke. I'll elope when smoke makes them choke. I'm a ghost, I'm out the way. Why play face to face with snakes? Make them shake when I subtract to activate.
Yo, what's the play? What's going on? What's good as far as how your day went? You feel me? Hopefully it went well. I've been moving and shaking in the day to day, but I found time to share with you a little conversation, man. If you had the time, hopefully you do. But yeah, I know the lighting is kind of dim, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of late over here. Hopefully your night's going well. Top of the morning to you. That go for the evening and afternoon too. But check it out. Let's talk about marriage, man. You know what I'm saying? What's your idea of marriage? And I know we're going to differ in our ideas, but let me start by setting a foundation for my understanding of marriage. You know what I'm saying? And to me, marriage is a business. You feel me? Marriage is a business, and I'm going to tell you why I say so. To me, anytime you get documentation involved in the situation, contracts, you know what I'm saying? You go to City Hall, pay your fee to let the state know or the government know that you guys are joined and unified and all that. Anytime that becomes the reality, to me, that becomes business because business entails paperwork, contracts, documentation. You feel me? Prenups, all that. That's to me business. We talking about transactions, money. What's being accomplished between the two of us as a union. That's why I say that. You feel me? Now you could disagree, you can agree, but I just wanted to set that foundation so you can kind of feel and understand why I'm saying what I'm saying, the perspective, you feel me? Where that perspective is coming from. So that's the foundation. To me, marriage is business. And there's nothing wrong with that. That being said, you feel me? There's nothing wrong with being unified and the cause being business. There's nothing wrong. It just becomes a problem when people believe that they're being unified as far as marriage is concerned based on love. If that confusion is not a part of the equation, being unified because you understand this business being handled, is nothing wrong with that. You feel me? To me, the contract should entail that you stick to what is owed. You feel me? As far as being obligated to fulfill the terms of the contract. And that's all it is to me. Marriage is a contract of dedication, loyalty, persistence, you feel me? To continue. That's all that is to me personally. Now, love could be a part of the equation or it could not be. But to me, marriage does not necessarily mean that the two people unified are in love. And I think that's where a lot of people get it confused, and that might be where we disagree. And it's cool if we do. But if you felt like marriage is a binding contract to the next, especially when you get the state involved. Now, common law marriage is different. Being unified and married by way of spirit, soul, ideology, mentality, principles, that's different. You're not getting the state and the paperwork involved. You feel me? That's different. I'm not against marriage. I'm for it, depending on your outlook of it. You feel me? I don't necessarily agree with documenting and telling the state, and then you file your taxes as a joint couple and all. Not everybody in your business. And anytime there's a third party involved in the business between two, especially when love is not a part of the equation, and even when love is a part of the equation, if there's a third party involved, you know what I'm saying, in the equation, when things go bad, that third party is going to be a determining factor as to what happens between the two people unified. You feel me? So it's like I don't really subscribe to that kind of method and mold, you feel me? To me personally. That's why I feel as though I could never be married as far as people's outlook and perspective of marriage is concerned. You feel me? I couldn't do it that way. I couldn't put on paper and document nothing shady about it to me because we could be unified and married in spirit. You know what I'm saying? In our understanding. You feel me? But again, to me, marriage is a business. It's a business. And some people corrupt and mislead according to that founding principle that marriage is a business. You can see it when certain people marry certain people just to get assets for themselves, knowing that this person is close to death. Those are real stories. I'm not gonna sit here and specify, certain stories. You know of them and you've heard of them. That's a business move. We can sit here and debate about whether that's wrong, right, morally, or is that evil or good. You know what I'm saying? We could debate about that too, but you cannot deny that's the business move, especially when there's money involved, assets, and you know what I'm saying, spoils involved. So I'm saying all this to say, really, I feel like when it comes to marriage, that's an important conversation, especially if you're leaning that way toward becoming married to somebody or someone. It's very important to know what you're going in and what the understanding is between the two people being unified. There should be mutual benefits for each party involved. You don't need to go in believing it's based on love, and this person understands it's about business. You feel me? You're gonna get off on the rocky road, you know. And it's probably almost as if somebody recently proposed to me. It's none of that. I just thought about it because the way you perceive the situation you're in determines the outcome of that situation, for whether for your benefit or in a negative way. The way you perceive the situation and how it occurs and how you're proceeding in that situation determines the outcome. So if you go in believing, okay, I love this person loves me, you feel me? You haven't come to an understanding as to what this person believes love is, and then let alone what you guys are being unified based on as far as the marriage. Like, bruh, now it gets confusing. So any situation, you should know what you're going in seeking to gain and then also offer in that situation. That's very important. Marriage included. Marriage included. You feel me? Without question. Because to me, I don't feel as though being married like on paper means anything. I don't really feel like that validates us as being married because plenty of people on paper are married, but when it comes to outlooks, perspectives, understanding, common goal, they're not married in any kind of way. So that should tell you right there it's about the money, the business, whatever's being handled within that situation. That should tell you right there, because I feel as though the intended goal or the original outset of marriage being a reality, the original intent behind that was based on a union of not only loyalty, respect, but love. Love as far as unifying two different bloodlines, families, to build beyond that point. There has to be some kind of love there, not necessarily romantic. You feel me? But depending on your definition of love, um, there is a potential that love can be a determining factor as to whether you decide to tie the knot with somebody. You feel me? That can be a determining factor. That being said, that being said, when it comes to um, when it comes to you determining based off of what you feel like is love, you have to consider the business aspect of the union. You feel me? Because bottom line, bottom line, anytime documentation is a part of the equation, it is now business. It's business. People misuse that business under the guise that the business is there because of love. If you take that out of the equation, you'll be like, okay, boom, make sure everything is cool as far as what's being submitted to different entities based on this business. I.e., if you have a job, if you have a job, if you're employed by somebody, and you got to file for your taxes to get your refund at the end of the year, you feel me? You have to file and let the state know, and also the government know that you are married on paper. After going to City Hall and paying your money and fee, now everybody's in your business. And I feel like child support is an outgrowth of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to be married to be put on child support. But again, documentation leads down that road. When the state is in your business, they determine what happens within that situation. They are the determining factor, and that keeps us from rectifying the wrongs among us. That prevents us from coming to an understanding among us. If you put the state in your business, the federal government in your business, you know, and you have to understand that they don't have your best interests at heart. So they don't care if your union succeeds or fails. It's a business to them as well. So they enjoy, I feel as though, and this is my personal opinion, nothing against anybody in any kind of situation that might pertain to what I'm about to say, but I feel as though when women go to the courthouse and put brothers on child support, they enjoy that because they understand the disharmony that will come from a woman proceeding in that manner. Now, we're not going to sit here and say if it's warranted, if she needed to do that because he wasn't handling his business, or if she's being scandalous and putting him on because she's spiteful. We're not going to talk about none of that. I might do another video on that, but to me, child support and how the government or the state gets involved in child support, again, goes to the business aspect. Documentation, paperwork, potential court proceedings. If you have to, listen, when you're unified with anybody, whether on paper or just between you guys' understanding, there are going to be hard times. You feel me? When the hard times hit and the state is involved in your hard time, and you guys can't come to an understanding beyond that hard time, because now all of a sudden you're talking about alimony and divorce and legal separation and how you're going to file for this. Now it becomes a confusing situation because first off, you feel me? If you went in with the false idea of love, you didn't understand or expect that hard times are going to hit that relationship, which all unions between people, hard times come. It just matters about how you handle those hard times when they do come, because they will come. But if the state is involved with you handling those hard times, you'll never come to a resolution because there's a third party who doesn't care about either party involved. You feel me? They don't care. So I'm saying that to say, when it comes to having everybody else, a third party in your business, it prevents us from coming to an understanding, a better understanding. You feel me? It prevents us from coming to a place of harmony. It prevents that. Because now, when you're talking about divorce, you feel me? You're talking about how to split the bread up. If a prenup was or wasn't involved, that's a determining factor. You feel me? You're talking about who gets what, who has to move to this place, out of this place, and all, you know, lawyers are involved potentially, depending on the status of the people involved in the dispute. You feel me? Like, bro, now it's the big thing. Now you can't tell me that's not business at that point. As opposed to not having your situation in paper, documented, and being like, hey, this not working out. We need time apart. I'm gonna go do my thing. You do your thing. We might link back up. We might not, but we'll see how it goes because time will tell. You feel me? You can't do that if you got paperwork, documentation, you filing this, these people know this. Now, God forbid if your situation is a lower resource one, you feel me? You don't have certain amenities and a certain way of life, you know what I'm saying? Section 8 living or whatever the case may be, no disrespect, because I feel it. But I'm saying, God forbid if you're in a situation like that, now all of a sudden money becomes an issue because it's not had. You feel me? And you gotta take care of the little ones that's here. So now it becomes a big thing. And then the incentive from the state or the government is gonna be like, yeah, put them on child support. We got you. Come in here. We gonna run it down, subpoena him to court, he gotta come. You feel me? And we gonna make it to where he gotta pay whatever bread he is getting, which is minimal. If he's working a 9-to-5 job, we gonna drain him of that, give it to you, and there goes the friction. There goes the friction. So God forbid, like I said, you're in a situation where you don't have as many resources, and then you have documented your marriage to the state, the government. And we'll never be able to repair the damaged families that those of mine have at the moment. You know what I'm saying? as far as my tribe is concerned. You know, no disrespect to anybody else's culture or family or traditions or whatever. I'm talking about the particular history of those of mine. The reason our families haven't been able to become a cohesive unit again is because of, again, documentation. You feel me? Let me know that you guys are being unified. I have to know. So that way, when a dispute comes along, I'll be the wedge between you two. You feel me? And I'm gonna get paid either way. Cause you gotta pay to put somebody on child support. The court proceedings, they might appoint you. I'm not gonna speak on that because I'm not on child support. I can't speak in detail because it's not my experience. But I've been locked up with people that spoke to me about the child support process. But because I'm not a part of that and that's not my experience, I'm gonna stop right there on that. But that just goes to my point on documentation, business. To me, in my mind, paperwork, business. It's business, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, like I said earlier, there is a potential that the situation on top of the business when it comes to marriage and the ring and the proposal and all that, there could actually be real love there. You feel me? Now, that's where it gets tricky because, as everybody says, you shouldn't mix business with pleasure. That's why I feel like a lot of marriages go wrong. Mixing pleasure with business can go wrong, depending on the lifestyle. When you're talking about monogamous marriage, according to the vows and the vows from the Bible, and you're unified in front of everybody at a wedding, and the groom in the white dress or any color dress, or all that, the traditional marriage and stuff like that. You have to understand. You have to understand that now, because of the spectacle, the business is a part of that potential love and the feelings and emotions that might have went into that moment. You feel me? It's a part of that. You have to understand that because it's being documented. And then when hard times come, some people like to hit below the belt. That's a reality. Not every person that's engaged in marriage is prone to hitting below the belt, but there are people like that. And you never really know a person until you have spent some more and more time around people to get to know them. You'll never fully know anybody, really. You feel me? To me, personally, that's how I feel. But I'm saying all that to say, you feel me? When it comes to marriage and documenting it becomes business. Mixing the pleasure with business, it becomes rocky. You feel me? Because now everybody else is seeing that you've taken these vows to be dedicated, devoted, and loyal to a person. When the love is now waning, you feel me? When the love is getting scarce and is getting low, according to the view of everybody that attended that ceremony, they're seeing that you have to, okay, you got to endure. Because we know vows to be da-da-da-da-da based on tradition. And if you go against that, you're breaking tradition. It's pressure. Because believe it or not, any situation you believe, even when love is involved, it's going to get rocky. It's going to get hectic. You feel me? It's going to be conflict and headbutting because not everybody's going to agree with everything you do at all times, and vice versa. You feel me? You're not going to agree with everything that everybody does at all times. How you come to a resolution to that conflict determines the growth of those people unified. However many people are unified, you feel me? But you can never come to a resolution to the conflict if there's a third party involved with you coming to that resolution, and then they are the determining factor as to how the situation is going to be resolved, especially when they don't have your best interests at heart. So my personal opinion, what I want to share with you right now, my personal opinion is I don't feel like we should be in a rush to get married on paper, because I'm strongly a believer, honestly and earnestly, you know what I'm saying? No BS. I truly believe that marriage is nothing wrong with it, but marriage is a union of people as far as spirit, heart, mind, all that, beyond paperwork. You feel me? I believe that there are people that are married that aren't legally with the proposal, the wedding, the ceremony, the courthouse, whatever, however you get your documentation, you feel me? They're married without those things, you feel me? Because they're on like one accord. They know each other. They've been with each other for a long period of time. It's like, why do we have to get somebody else involved on what we've built thus far if it's going smoothly? And it was going smoothly from what I could see. Of course, I'm not all the way privy to the behind the door situations and conflicts, but on this, from what I could see, being in close proximity with them, it was all good. And you can kind of tell when people throwing their subs and, hitting below the belt on the low ski and all that. There was none of that going on. It wasn't like no fake faces or nothing like that. Like somebody say something and hold their tongue. I didn't see none of that kind of body language. So it seemed like it was cool to me. But I understand conflict is a part of that union as long as they've been together, you feel me? But they found a way to resolve it because they weren't on paper as married. They just been dedicated to the situation for a minute. You feel me? To me, that's what makes marriage marriage. Loyalty, love can be a part of it, but understanding, dedication, devotion. I'm not talking about paperwork. Like, you don't got to sign on the line saying that I will be dedicated to this person until my life is over in flesh. I don't have to prove anything to anybody if we got to understand it. We don't need the state and the government and everybody to tell us that we married. If we got that, like I said, loyalty to the principles, loyalty to the goal, you feel me? Dedication to the goal, dedication and devotion to the principles. You know what I'm saying? You can have love for the understanding, the relationship. You can develop in time love for me as I will you. You feel me? To me, that's marriage right there. Who could tell you you're not married if y'all have an understanding that by way of understanding, spirit, love, we are unified. You feel me? And you ain't even gotta really call it that. It is what it is. We just rocking how we rocking. We moving how we moving. We shaking it how we shaking it. You feel me? And it's, over time, if we build it up, we can call it what we want to call it. We don't need the state to tell us we this or the federal government to tell us we that. You feel me? We don't need it because we rocking how we rocking. And that's what we got away from our instinct to be tribal. You feel me? That's what I was telling you in another video. If you go check it out, a previous video about education, that's where they got us off track, is because we adopted different traditions, and then therefore they brought to us Western civilization, bureaucracies, paperwork, documentation. So now, instead of us being unified amongst our tribe, having an understanding that, yeah, I'm rocking with her or I'm rocking with them, we have to document and let everybody know what we're doing, because they have to have eyes on what we're doing at all times to thwart anything we might be trying to cultivate or develop. You feel what I'm telling you? So again, it's a traditional thing. Some traditions should be done away with, some should be reserved and preserved. But to me, I feel like that's what it stems from. You feel me? To needing to prove to the state that you are unified. And in some cases it could be a hustle, but I'm not gonna talk on that level right now. I don't wanna make anybody's situation a sticky one or a hot one or anything like that. But there are different ways to make marriage benefit you when it comes to documentation. I'm aware of that. But I'm talking about two people believing that their union is based on love and not understanding the business aspect of it. If you go that route, if you go to the courthouse, pay your fee, you feel me, you have a ceremony at a church and all this kind of thing, and there's paperwork involved and you're signing and there's a witness and all, you're signing a contract. And you're gonna make money in society. If you go out to get a job or have your own business, money's gonna be involved. So then when the W-2s and all this other stuff you gotta fill out come to you, you've documented that you're married. How are you gonna fill out that, Now the state's involved in your business. The federal government is involved in your business. Do you get me? I don't feel like nobody should be involved in our business. You know what I'm saying? If they're not here to enhance the business between us. Nobody else needs to know. Why would I let the state know? and I know they don't have any kind of benefit in their heart for me, why would I do that? I'm not finna make that move. And that's why I say to most people I come in contact with and get to know a little while, and somehow marriage might come up. Not like they propose, I propose, but just like our ideas and thoughts on. Whenever that come up, I'll be like, I can't see myself getting married because of people's perception of marriage. You feel me? I can't see myself going through that. You feel me? Now I'm not here to coerce, you know what I'm saying, or force you to adopt my idea of marriage. But again, if you're attached to the traditional idea of marriage, I cannot see myself getting married because you're gonna expect certain things to prove that we are married, and I just see it different. That's how I break it down every time, and it's not gonna change until my last breath because that's how I really believe. And like I said, some people are not going to do away with certain traditions, so they're going to hold on to that, believing that's what it is, and that'll be a misunderstanding. And I'm trying to proceed in all interactions with understanding. Let's come to a common ground. Feel what I feel, even if you don't agree. You feel me? But if that's your way, I can't proceed that way. And if you're expecting me to propose and marry you in the way that you believe marriage should go, we not gonna work. And I might as well slide now, you know what I'm saying? I might as well leave. If it's gotten to that point, you get what I'm telling you. And I've never been to that point where somebody was talking to me seriously about marriage, but I'm just saying, that's my outlook. And a lot of people have a different outlook, and it's cool. It's not gonna work for me. It's not gonna work. You feel me? But yeah, man. Yeah. Very important. When it comes to love being a part of that union, it should be unconditional. It should go beyond the paperwork. You feel me? Because if that was the case, you wouldn't allow the state to get involved when you guys have a, you know what I'm saying, conflicted moment. If there was real love involved, if there wasn't a plan from the outstart when it came to the marriage. But I'm not gonna touch deeper on that because I might be disrupting some people's hustle, and I'm not trying to do that. Get your bread how you get it. You know what I'm saying? Get at it however you trapping. You know what I'm saying? However you getting it. I'm not tripping. It's none of my business. I'm just sharing my thought when it comes to marriage. You feel me? Namely, when it comes to us as a people. And I'm gonna say this last thing and slide. You feel me? When it comes to us as a people, man, those of mine that's a part of the tribe, I feel as though when it comes to how we cultivate and develop our families, we don't have to adopt the traditional way of every other culture. Did you know? Let me share this with you. I came across this and I was like, damn, how many people have stayed in the house with more than just you and your close relatives? You stayed in the house with multiple people, even if it is your relatives. You feel me? Did you know that when it comes to us, our natural way of commingling with our tribes mates was to sleep in large groups? You feel me? Because there's a protection aspect there. Just like in the military when they be sleeping in bunks, knowing that you're at war, that creates a cohesive unit. You know what I'm saying? That creates unit cohesion, which means that everybody under the shared struggle, you know what I'm saying, is a cohesive unit because the support is within the people together. You feel me? Based on the common struggle. That's what the military, and then that was our natural way of being. You feel me? It made us a cohesive unit. Did you know the way we sleep, that the way that we sleep now in individual rooms, you know what I'm saying? You got your room, I got my room, blah, blah, blah. That was a European concept, believe it or not. Now, you might have become comfortable with your privacy and being in your own room. It's just our tradition now because we adopted it. You feel me? We adopted it and adapted it into our current existence. But certain things that we pick up and that we do naturally now because it's been passed down is not our natural way of being. You feel what I'm telling you? Because some of us are married to tradition. We have a contract with tradition when we're out in public. You feel me? When we programming in society, trying to get, you know what I'm saying, our little crumbs or loaves or whatever, you know what I'm saying, bakeries, however you want to cut it. When we trying to get what we trying to get, We are married to certain traditions that we feel as though are gonna progress us. But if you decide on principles that are beneficial to your tribe and become married and devoted, you know what I'm saying, not according to the world standard or any other culture standard, but to a standard that holds you accountable, you know what I'm saying, and makes you dependable to those who are part of your tribe. If you become married to principles like that, who can tell you you're not married? You know what I'm saying? As far as devotion to your tribe, to your family, to your loved ones. Who can't tell you that? Who can tell you that? You feel me? If you know, redefine your idea of marriage. You feel me? But everything is what you make it. You know, work it how you work it. All love. That was just my idea. If you disagree, it's cool. I just wanted to share that with you. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of late over here right now, but I felt like let me you know, break off a little bit of time to share my, you know what I'm saying, thoughts, the mental, you know what I'm saying, what's on my mind. And yeah. So yeah, marriage. There might be a part two, there might not be. Check me out.
Keep the pressure persistent. When I gotta apply it, I'll be lying if I said I didn't feel like dying, since I couldn't get you to submit to my attempts to get you to roll with. My wish is your participation in my desired destination. The vision is what you make it, so ponder partaking and let it be known how it's shaking. No faking in my presentation, basic but complicated. I'm saying, is you hearing me? Let me know that you feeling me, really intrigued. Let me be the God to provide and supply all you believe you need. Never lacking or slacking when active on behalf